Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at and installing our Curt 4-pole trailer wiring for our 2025 Kia Telluride. Our Curt 4-pole wiring for your Kia Telluride is going to help you keep your trailer legal. Say you're pulling a small trailer, maybe you're pulling a utility trailer, or maybe like a small teardrop camper like our neighbor plans on doing with theirs. This is going to be everything you need to kind of get your trailer set up where you have lights. It's going to give you your brakes, your turn signals, your running lights, and everything you need so people behind you can see your trailer, and it's also going to keep you legal. The Curt 4-pole wiring setup is going to give you everything you need. So it's going to run from the back of your vehicle to the front, and it's going to have everything in the kit that you need to get your 4-pole wiring set up. Installation for this one is not really too bad. It's just basically running wires is the hardest part of it all. And you're going to have to remove your taillight lenses, but it's not a really big deal at all to get it done. If you're interested in doing this one yourself, stick around and watch our video and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to want to have our hatch open, and what we're going to be doing is removing both of our rear tail light lenses. So to start off, we're just going to pull back on our plastic part here that goes around our lens, and if you have a piece of plastic trim tool or something like that, just work your way down it and get them to pop out. And just get that out of your way. Now behind our panel, we're going to have three 10mm screws that go into the back of our housing. We're just going to remove those. With those out, now we can carefully pull back on our tail light lens. All right, and it just fits in these pinholes right here. So you just want to keep applying pressure until you get that to release, but you also want to be careful at the same time. Now that we have it off, we're going to pop out our connector, just push in on our clip and pull that off and get our light assembly out of the way. And we are going to follow that on both sides. We're going to need to get our wires to come up through this little section here. So what I'm going to do is just use this plastic airline tube and run it down through. And that way we can pull our wire up from the bottom. To make room to get our box put in place, I'm going to remove our plastic trim panel underneath our driver's side. I'm just going to pull down on our clips and get those out of the way. Sometimes you need to get a little screwdriver in there. We're going to have two 14mm plastic nuts. Just kind of pull down on your panel while you're loosening those. It's going to help pop that loose. And just do that with both of them. Now we can get that out of the way. Our brown and yellow wire is going to run up through our driver's side. So what I'm going to do is just take our pull wire we have here, and I'm going to tape it to this so I can pull it up through. We'll just pull it up through. And once we have it through, we can untape it. For our green wire, this one's going to go across to our passenger side. So what I'm going to do is just run this along the back side of our bumper, and I will tie our wire up to an existing harness under there along the way, and that'll keep it up so it doesn't fall down. And then we'll fish this side up over here through. Now we'll connect our harness to our existing harness to our vehicle. You're going to see your two little tabs here. You're going to line them up with where it latches and just click it in place. You will hear an audible click. Now we can take our tail light, find our latching side on that, match it up with our plug, and get it clicked in place. Now we can reinstall our tail light. Pop our panel back in. Now we'll follow the same procedure on the driver's side. Now what I'm going to do is get our box put in place. We have our sticky pad that comes with it. Just want to get that stuck on there good and get that pulled off. And I did pick a good location. Clear over here against the edge is where we're going to go with it. Just get that stuck in place. And that's on there good and solid. Now our white wire ground is going to go right back here. We did pre-drill a small hole for that, and we're just going to take our self-tapping screw that came in our kit, and we're going to run it right into that hole. And that's going to provide us with a good solid ground. Now we have our black wire that comes out of our box. That is going to be our positive wire. In our kit, we have a spool of extra wire that is run up to the front, and that is going to be running up to our battery. So we need to connect that wire to the wire that goes to our box. Our wire to our box is already stripped off and ready, so I'll need to strip off this end so we can get them attached. What we're using is a heat shrink butt connector. These will not come in your kit, but these are real handy, and it's going to provide a waterproof seal around your connection. I do recommend picking some of these up from etrailer just so you can have a nice clean installation. Now we'll just get our butt connector on the end of our wire, and we'll crimp it on. Take our crimping pliers, get them in place, and crimp them down tight. After we crimp them, we want to give them a little tug, make sure they're good and tight. Now we'll get our other end inserted and get it crimped into place. Now we'll take our heat gun and heat up our connector, and that's going to shrink it up around our wires. We just want to make sure it's going all the way around it. We're getting out most of our bubbles. And once we see a little gel coming out the end of it there, that's going to be good enough. Now that we have our box and everything all in place, we can get our panel put back in. Now we ran our power wire up over this harness, ran it up over our cross member here, making sure we're not getting any moving parts or anything hot. Ran it over here, kind of beside our gas tank and around. And then we came out on this side, over, around, then over it, and we ran up to where there's some lines. So we pulled this down and attached to the lines up through here. Ended up going through, attached here, and then ran up. Now we have it running all the way up to our battery through there. Now we're just going to get everything connected so we can get power to our box. We have our fuse holder that comes in the kit. We're just going to cut it right in the middle, get those spread apart. Now we can start stripping off our wires. This wire I'm going to leave a little bit long just so they have a little extra to deal with if they ever have a problem with their system. Now we have all of our ends stripped off. We have a ring terminal that comes in our kit. We're just going to mount that on one end of our fuse holder and get that crimped into place. Okay. Now we are using another heat shrink butt connector in the front. We're just going to get that crimped into place onto our power wire. And anytime you do these, you just want to give them a little pull and make sure it's good and tight. Now we can get it crimped onto our fuse holder as well. Give it a quick pull. Now we can heat that up and get it sealed up. Now we have our positive terminal on our battery. We're just going to plug right into this right here. We have our 10mm nut. We're going to back loose. That's going to be our power source. Get our ring terminal put in place and put our nut back on. Now before I tighten it down, I want to see where I want to run my wire out of. That way I have it pointing in the proper direction. We're going to go right off this corner. And just get it snugged down. Get our 15 amp fuse put into our fuse holder. We can plug in our tester and we'll check our lights. We'll turn our lights on. We have lights working. We have left turn. We have right turn. We have brakes. We have brakes with left turn and brakes with right turn, and all of the lights are working. And that was a look at our Curt 4-pole trailer wiring for our 2025 Kia Telluride. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.